Are you stuck in a toxic relationship and you're wondering, how do I actually prioritize me? Like, I hear people say this, but how does this even make sense? How do I even match up to this? How do I have time to prioritize me when he's like over top of me all the time? Overwhelming, controlling, belittling, putting me down. How do I even work on this? Maybe you feel like you're lost in the toxicity of the relationship, just kind of spinning your wheels, not sure how to actually move forward, but you still want to find ways to nurture your own well-being, to actually help you move forward. We're going to talk through a couple different things that I want to be able to give you of like, hey, start working on this, start doing this, and also kind of break down some of the topics that I do inside of my own life and inside of the communities that we run to help people actually achieve this piece of self-care, of them working on themselves on a day-to-day basis, of having the tools to be able to move forward, grow, and rise into the person you're called to be. So we'll dive into that in just a second. If you guys are new here, my name is Ben Taylor. I'm a self-aware narcissist on this channel providing awareness about narcissistic abuse. I'm the founder of Raw Motivations, the creator of the NARC app, and your guide walking through a lot of our challenges that we have. You can access at rawmotivations.com. If you want to work with me one-on-one, or if some of the things resonate in the video today, go to www.rawmotivations.com to be able to grab a time. We can talk. We can see if you'd be a right fit for some of our communities and move forward in your growth, in your direction to help you rise and be the person you're called to be. Okay. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, rate, review. If you listen to podcasts, thanks so much. All right, let's dive right in. Okay. When we talk about this aspect of practicing self-care in toxic relationships, like, it is really hard. Okay. Self-care as a whole is hard in general, for people just to prioritize themselves, because everything is like about everyone else's agendas. You get everyone else's agendas placed upon you. You've got so many things going on in life. You've got the kids, you've got work, you've got partner, toxicity, all those, whatever it may be. Okay. And so when you get to this place of being in a toxic relationship, you're like, hey, this would be nice. I just don't have time. Hey, this would be nice. I just don't feel like I can. You need to understand self-care is not a luxury, it is a necessity, especially when you find yourself in a toxic relationship. Because if you don't have this aspect of you actually working on you, you are left with nothing. Many of you watching this today have been in a toxic relationship and you are left with nothing. Like, you do not know who you are. Someone walks up to you and is like, hey, what are the things you like to do? Do you have any hobbies? And you're just like, yeah, I don't really know what I'd like to do. Because it's been stripped away from you. Because it's been stolen from you. Because it's been to a place that you no longer know who you are. So as a result, you don't do the things that actually help you grow, change, and develop. Because you no longer have nurtured yourself. You no longer work on yourself mentally, emotionally, physically, and you've been put through all of these challenging situations that keep you sedated and keep you under control and keep someone else domineering over you. You need to understand, self-care isn't selfish. It's about recognizing your worth and taking steps to protect your well-being. You're like, well, I don't feel like I have any worth. Exactly, because you're with a toxic person and he's continually belittling and putting you down, so you're subservient and so you do not grow. That's what we're doing inside of Raw Motivations, inside of Thriver. That's what we're doing, is we're trying to help call people out and say, hey, you have the ability to grow and change and develop yourself more than you ever would believe. But it comes down to this piece of how do you actually engage with self-care so you can start to validate your own self-worth, not with someone else, but by you. Showing up every single day, doing the work, helping you grow, change, and develop. Like, despite where you're at, despite all the emotional abuse from your partner, you start to get to the place where you prioritize you. You start setting aside time, activities that bring joy, bring peace into your life. Bringing in things that actually help you develop who you are every single day. Now, what does this look like? I'm going to give you a couple generic examples, and then we're going to dive into what we actually teach, what we actually do. Okay, how do you actually put in self-care practices? Number one, setting boundaries. Okay, establishing clear boundaries with your toxic partner to protect your emotional space. Doesn't have anything to do with him, has everything to do with you. Okay, a boundary is you limiting their access by you saying, I'm unwilling to do the things that you have me do or that you are putting on me because I am prioritizing me. That's it. The other piece, number two, seeking support. Okay, reaching out to friends, to family, or support groups to be able to help engage with, to share your experiences, to share your feelings, and to understand you're not alone. This is one of the most powerful things when we put people in a community, when we work with people, is they get with other people and they're like, whoa, I'm not the only person. Because right now you feel like you're the only person because he's made you feel like you're the only person. Another piece, number 3, practicing mindfulness, engaging in exercises to help you stay present and reduce stress. Now, is that super hard in a toxic relationship? Absolutely. Because you're not going to have these moments to actually practice this or be able to step aside or be able to focus on you because he's going to be so focused on keeping control over you. Might be where you actually engage in hobbies. You're like, this is hard because I don't even have time, or I don't even know what I'd want. When you start to find stuff of like, hey, this actually feels good when I do it. This actually helps me be fulfilled. This actually helps bring happiness and joy into my life because I'm doing this for me or with the kids or something, okay, that's helping you move forward. Sometimes this is self-reflection, like understanding, hey, I need to understand my feelings. I need to work on this. Sometimes it's journaling. Sometimes it's going for a walk. Sometimes it's all these different pieces, okay? Now, that's a bunch of generic stuff. It's great, and it's great for you to do. But I don't want to just give you generic stuff. What I want to give you is like what we actually do every single day. What we do is when we focus on your self-care, we focus on 4 different areas. We define them as body, being, balance, and business. We focus on first your body. Are you actually getting around and moving? You're like, yeah, I move every single day. Are you actually working out or doing something that is physically exerting energy? Because as you do this, you start to build your own energy system inside you. You start to get more energy on a day-to-day basis. You start to accomplish something for you, not for someone else. So first part under body is fitness. You're actually showing up. You're doing something for you every single day. Second thing is fuel. Of what are you actually feeding your body? What are you actually putting into your body? It's so easy to start sedating with food. It's so easy to start sedating with alcohol, with drugs, with a lot of crap that will go in your body. And as a result, you will feel sluggish and you will feel put down and you will start to devalue yourself because of how your body looks based on how you're treating your body. So we have to be able to say, how are you actually treating your body today? The second thing is being. Being has to do with your connection to God, with spirituality, with where you actually are, understanding who you are and the direction you need to go. What this looks like, first and foremost, is meditation. How are you getting time to be able to meditate and clear your head of the toxic stuff that is coming into your life on a day-to-day basis? This doesn't mean you just sit into the corner and just blank out for 20 minutes. But it is you actually taking time to try to get clear of all the shit that's in your head based on everything you're going through. Then the second piece under that is memoirs, where you actually sit back and you start writing stuff down, whether that's with us in a stack or whether that's just journaling. It's saying, hey, this is what I'm learning. This is what's coming up for me. This is what I'm getting clear about. So we focus on your body, then we focus on your being, your spirituality. Then we focus on your balance, number 3. Your balance has to do with relationships. Now, this is where it gets slightly dicey because you're like, wait a second, I don't really want to invest in this relationship because he's toxic, because he's abusive. Perfect. Then the first person you're going to invest in is you. Developing a hobby, an idea, a thought, something that actually is you investing time into you. Some people, it's like, hey, I'm able to sit down and read a book for 5 minutes. That's what I'm doing for me. Or I'm taking myself out to get my nails done or work on something that I want to work on or go do something, go visit something, like whatever it might be. Then the second person is like, hey, how are you actually interacting? Maybe it's your kids, of like, how am I investing in my kids on a day-to-day basis? Or how am I investing in another relationship with my friends, with my family members? How am I actually working on that? This whole aspect of balance is talking about relationships. Then we move into the fourth one, which is talking about business, and that's your ability to produce and create the money and the legacy that you need to build. Because oftentimes you're having to create this apart from the toxic person because he's unwilling to actually help you in this, and because a lot of times he might be either sucking you dry or he might not be giving you any money because he doesn't really care. Many of you already are in this spot where you're having to do this because you already have businesses, you already run different things, you're already showing up for you. A lot of times we see powerful business women that get sucked into toxic relationships, not because they're not intelligent, not because they're not smart, but because this person is really good at manipulating and taking away pieces of you so that you don't know who you are. And so under business, we talk about, hey, what are you discovering on a day-to-day basis? How are you actually growing and learning how to be able to work on you in the aspect of business so you can produce more, so you can make more for yourself and for your family? And then the second piece is declare, how do you actually put this into practice? How do you actually implement it, integrate it into your life? How do you delegate it to your team? How do you communicate it to your staff? How do you start pivoting in different areas with this? What do you actually do? So we break this down into body, being, balance, and business. When you start to do this, this produces a unique level of synergy and power as you start to understand that freedom is actually possible when you focus on you. When you start to get free from the toxic person, they will start to attack you more. They will start to put pressure on you more. What I want you to understand is as you start to step into that freedom and they start to come at you more, that means that this shit is working. Because they sense and they see that you're starting to get free. Toxic person is scared of you getting free because that means you're no longer under their control. This is where we come in and we provide the tools, the systems, the frameworks to help support you in you unlocking that version of you. To help support you in you getting clear about what you can do on a day-to-day basis to help be the person that you're actually called to be. The hard part is most people won't do what's required. Doesn't mean I tell you to go no contact. Doesn't mean I tell you to leave the family. Doesn't mean I tell you to do anything. But to show up for you. Every single day. Be the most simplest and the hardest thing that you ever do. But if you can unlock that, if you can work through that, if you can continue to show up consistently for you, your life will transform. Every time. If that's something you want in your life, or if you're interested, or if you resonate with what I've been saying, I want you to reach out. You can email me at ben@rawmotivations.com. You can go to rawmotivations.com, click a one-on-one. We can talk face-to-face and kind of work through that. But this possibility is more real than you think, because there's people getting free every single day by starting to practice the self-care, by understanding where they are, by understanding where they want to go, to be able to get to a place of ultimately being free of toxicity. Reach out today. Go to rawmotivations.com, click on the one-on-ones. We'd love to be able to help you. Love to be able to show you the things that have transformed my life and that are transforming hundreds of others on a daily basis.